Okay, so let's go ahead and come to a nice comfortable seat. Scoot forward in your chair a little bit so that you're sitting nice and tall. Just peek down at your feet. Adjust so that you're landing with your knees over your ankles. And then let's roll the shoulders back a few times. Kind of just noticing what's going on in that shoulder girdle, what's going on in the neck. Is there a lot of tension? You're doing okay. And start to roll forward here. And then let's roll back again. And just allow your shoulder blades to release down your back. Your shoulders are stacking over your sit bones. You can take your hands to your thighs. You can channel Mount Hood here in all of its mountainliness. Allow your eyelids to close. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. So let the week so far go. Let the Thanksgiving holiday go. Let thoughts of all of the things that are going to be happening in the month ahead go. They're wonderful, but they can also be a little stressful. So right away, with each inhale and with each exhale, you're just kind of clearing some space, giving yourself permission this next hour to be still, to check in, to move your body, to breathe. Just carving out a little time for some self-care. Listening to that sound of your breath as you inhale through your nose, and then also as you exhale through your nose. You might be constricting the sides of your throat. So finding your Ujjayi breath, that's a heating breath. In addition to warming up the body, it also, that sound is like another piece that we have to help quiet the mind, to focus the mind. As you sit here and quietly breathe, you can do a scan of your body. Start at your feet, work your way up. Are there places where you're gripping a little bit? For me, it always tends to be the inner thigh, groin area. Sometimes the fingers, the toes can get a little tense. Shoulders can start to creep up around the ears. Bring your awareness to those spots. Make any little adjustments that you need to. So yes, we are sitting and it does require some effort. So we want that. But we also don't want to be efforting in the places where we don't need to. And that can be kind of a fine balance to find. And just a couple more moments here. Soak up the stillness. Soak up the sound of your breath. Good. You can gently blink your eyes open here. And then I didn't check my mic. Just a quick thumbs up if the sound is okay. Okay, good. Just making sure. I know that's no fun when you can't hear. All right, so let's go ahead and release our arms by our sides. Let's inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come together and they release down. And then let's inhale, stretch the arms forward. And then turn the palms to face out. Exhale. Release down. So a few times like that, you can spin the palms to face forward. Inhale. Feel a little resistance as you slowly extend the arms up. Exhale, hands pass through heart center. And then they release by your sides. Inhale, palms face in towards each other as you stretch forward and up. And then find that internal rotation at the shoulder. Press down as you release the arms. One more time, palms spin open. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands pass through heart center, releasing the arms by your sides, and then palms face in towards each other. Inhale, stretch forward and up. And then exhale, reach out wide. You can return your hands to your thighs. Inhale, find that arch in your lumbar. Exhale, rock back to the backs of your sit bones, chin towards chest. Continuing like this. So just finding a little flow, a little movement with your breath. And your pace might be a little different than mine. Some days it feels good to move a little slower, stretch things out. Some days we want to move a little more. Paying close attention to your spine, noticing how it's feeling. Where does the movement feel easy? Where are you feeling a little congested? And then getting into the shoulder girdle, perhaps again, if you would like. On your next inhale, as you're rocking forward into that cow stretch, maybe you stretch your right arm forward, and inhale. Good, exhale, round back in. And then inhale, you can stretch that left arm forward. Really nice. Good. If you want to do both arms at the same time, you can move in that direction. Beautiful work. Trying to keep those shoulder blades releasing down towards your sit bones, even as you're reaching forward and up any amount. Good. If you're alternating arms, just finish up on that left side. And then come back to a nice mountain pose. And we're going to start to rock around. So just making some circles in that pelvic girdle. They can be big, they can be small. You can dip the shoulders. You can release the neck any way that feels good. Always kind of fun to move like this. This isn't movement that we do often in yoga. Let's start to switch directions here. Really lovely work. Good. So you can start to make these circles smaller as you start to come back to your mountain pose. And then let's release the arms by the sides. And we're going to just flow a little bit side to side. So getting our lateral stretching. So as you inhale, you're going to lean off to the right. Take that left arm up and over. Try to press into that left sit bone. Exhale, release down. And then inhale, right arm up and over, leaning to the left. Exhale, release. If reaching the entire arm up overhead doesn't feel good, you could always bend the elbow. You could skip it all together. So as you know, we're all working with different things going on in our bodies. We all have different abilities. So we're all gonna be practicing a little bit differently. There's not a one size fits all for these poses. And I certainly encourage you to get creative with ways you can modify so that your yoga practice feels really good for you. Good, just a few more rounds. You could close your eyes here if you feel steady and safe. That might just help you to get inside your body a little more. Good. The next time you are reaching up and over with that left arm leaning to the right, hang out there. And again, maybe just adjust so that you feel some weight down into that left sit bone. It gets a little light. Make sure this right shoulder isn't creeping up towards your ear. Maybe you start to bring your gaze up underneath your top arm. And then if you'd like to find a little half wrap here, perhaps start to reach that right arm out to the side. Do a thumbs down sign. And then you're going to bend the elbow, kind of snuggle that hand to your lower back. Depending upon how flexible the shoulders are, how long the arms are, you might be able to reach your fingers around to that left side. As you're doing this wrap, can you press your right shoulder head back behind you? So in addition to getting this lovely lateral stretch on the left side, you're feeling a little bit of shoulder stretching. A few more breaths. If you are in the wrap, go ahead and release that right arm. Good, exhale, come on up and then off to the second side. So again, anchor into that right sit bone. So you might have to back out a little bit. Keep that breath smooth and steady. Feel these left ribs gently wrapping up towards the ceiling. Maybe you're gazing up underneath your top arm if that feels okay. And shoulder blades are still squeezing in towards each other here. You want to play with that shoulder, stretch that wrap. Extend your left arm out. Little thumbs down so the palm is spinning to face behind you. Bend the elbow. Reach around so the back of your hand could press into your spine, your lower back. Or maybe you can reach around, kind of hook that left hand against your right hip. Lean that left shoulder back. Few breaths here. Good. Let's inhale, come on up. And then exhale, release. Good. Just take a moment here. Once again, in our Tadasana pose, this is like our home base. We always return here. Good. So let's find a little, let's do some hip stretching with some neck stretching today. So kind of kill two birds with one stone. So you are welcome to come into your seated pigeon. So crossing your right ankle above your left knee. If that is not working in your body for whatever reason, you can simply open up this right thigh. So you're getting external rotation. If you're in the seated version, you can take your hand, gently press down using the strength of your arm. That might help you to get a little more stretch. That being said, you might not need to do that. Hips can get really tight. If you're in these warrior two legs, you can take your right hand into your right thigh and then just gently press back behind you. Wherever you're at, press down into your sit bones, lengthen through the sides of your waist. And then exhale, start to drop your chin towards your chest. It might not go far. So usually a lot of tension in the neck and shoulders. That can be a little extra this time of year. Can you visualize your breath going to the back of your neck, the sides of your neck, even the front of your neck? Just creating a little space. Good, let's inhale, lift the chin. All right, and then exhale, drop right ear towards right shoulder. Observe if that right shoulder starts to creep up towards your ear, trying to help things out. Just soften down. And then check in with your legs. Again, are you getting that hip stretch in the right side? So again, pressing that knee back or down, depending upon which version of this pose you're in. What's going on with your breath? Is it smooth and steady? Especially if there's a lot of sensation in your body, you might tend to hold the breath. Good, let's inhale to center. Exhale, left ear towards the left shoulder. Few breaths like this. Just trying to find a little space, a little ease. And then from here, just stay where you're at, but start to tuck your chin a little bit. And you might feel the sensation shift into the back of that right shoulder blade area. Good, lift your chin, and then head comes back to center. From here, let's inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Feel the outer hips squeeze in towards each other. Good, inhale, back to center. And then exhale, we twist to the left, really reach out through your fingers, and then go ahead and release the arms down. So this can look like a lot of different things. First twist of the day. If your legs are like mine, you're probably going to just take your left hand to the inside of that left thigh. If you are in the reclining pigeon version, your hand might come to your right ankle. If twisting feels good in your body, if it's pretty easy for you to access that, you could take your left hand to the outside of that right thigh. Wherever you're at, finding some leverage, you're pressing your shoulder heads back. And then maybe don't bring your gaze all the way out over your right shoulder, kind of split the difference. So you're kind of, looking like 45 degrees to the right. And then keep your body in the twist, but bring your gaze out towards your left shoulder. Nice. And then drop your chin here. Good, as you inhale, chin lifts. Exhale, go ahead and unwind. And then you can uncross that right ankle, bring your legs back to your mountain pose if you are in your warrior two. And then we take the second side, which could look different than the first side. That's absolutely fine. So again, and find a warrior two leg, just getting any kind of external rotation at this left hip socket. You can take that left ankle above your right knee, especially if there is any sensation in your knee. Do make sure that you're flexing this left foot. That's going to help to mitigate some of that, help to protect the knee. And just a few breaths here. You can press down if you want a little more sensation, or back with your hand if you're in those warrior two legs. How does this side feel different in your body? Yoga practice helps us to really identify these things, to notice, to pay attention to the subtleties. And then we can make little adjustments as necessary. Good. As you exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. Feel those shoulder blades releasing down your back. Imagine that somebody is gently pressing down on your shoulders. What's going on with the breath? Always remind yourself to return to that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. As you inhale, lift your chin parallel to the floor. Exhale, right ear towards right shoulder. You know what? I did that wrong. Inhale, come to center. I got there too quickly, I think. Left ear towards left shoulder. Send your exhale to this right side of your neck, those scalene muscles. Just visualize that breath, creating some space. All right, inhale, center. Here we go for real. Right ear towards right shoulder. Breath smooth and steady. And then from here, keep leaning that right ear towards your right shoulder, but start to tuck your chin. And just notice where you start to feel things, where the sensation shifts in your body. Good. Inhale, chin lifts. Head comes back to center. Take an exhale here. And then inhale, stretch the arms out wide. Those shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Let's find your giant wingspan. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, we twist to the left, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then from here, you can release your hands down. So finding your version of your twist. And with the hands down, you're able to access a little more opening via the leverage that you're getting. Hands against the chair, against your thigh. And then kind of just gazing out 45 degrees, kind of splitting the difference, not looking entirely over that left shoulder, but not exactly looking forward either. On your next exhale, start to bring your gaze out over your right shoulder. Keep pressing your shoulder heads back though as you do that. And then tuck your chin here. Good. Inhale, chin lifts. And then exhale, unwind, come back to center. So find your mountain pose, Tadasana. Make any little adjustments that you need to. Check your alignment points. So we've got those knees over ankles. And then just take a couple of moments here, little check-in halfway through class. How are you feeling? Are you starting to find a little more space in your body? Is the head quieting a little bit? Brain getting stiller? Good. So let's move into some of our sun salutes. This is a great place to use blocks if you have them, not necessary if you don't. If you do, you can just place them beside your feet. It's just to help bring the floor a little bit closer. They can be on any height. Let's go ahead and release our arms down by our sides. And then inhale, take the arms out and up. Maybe you gaze up and press palms together. As you exhale, you can swan dive in if you feel stable and safe. That will engage the core a little bit. You also just might take your hands to your thighs and help yourself roll on down. Again, find chin to chest, lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale, this is where you might take your hands to your blocks. They could also come to your shins or your thighs. Wherever you're at, elbow squeeze in, shoulder blade squeeze in. This little like seated cobra pose. Exhale, fold back in. So the forward folding portion. And then inhale, we're going to come all the way up to our extended mountain pose. You can reverse swan dive out, or you can roll on up. Maybe your palms press and you gaze up. And then as you exhale, hands come to heart center. You can take the arms out wide. You can bring them down to heart center. So lots of ways to mix and match these. You do what feels good for you. Inhaling, Utthita Hastasana into Dasana, extended mountain pose. Exhaling, folding into Uttanasana, so deep forward fold. Inhaling into Ardha Uttanasana. Ardha means half, so we're in our half forward fold. Exhale back into your Uttanasana. Anchor into your sit bones, anchor into your feet. Take up space as you rise all the way up. Let it feel very graceful and fluid and spacious. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. So let's do 3 more of these. I'm not going to cue you. You can follow along with me if you'd like, or you can move at a pace that feels good for you. If you're not feeling these today for whatever reason, you could always sit quietly, or you could come back into your cat-cow. And again, if you feel comfortable and steady and safe and you wanted to close your eyes, sometimes that can feel really nice in these sun salutes. I always find that it helps me to draw it inward a little bit. Sometimes it feels like it helps me to connect with my breath a little more. So really soaking these sun salutes up, exploring how this movement feels in your body. No rush, just taking your time. When you're done with your 3rd round, pausing, eyes closed, hands together, heart center. Feel the heat that started to happen inside your body. Maybe your heart's beating a little faster. Maybe your breath has sped up. Good. So let's blink our eyes open here. You can release your hands down. We're going to move into some downward dogs and then some twists with the chair. So you can go ahead and get that extra chair. You can use a table in front of you. You could use a piece of wall in front of you. Again, always lots of different ways to modify. So I'm going to get situated here. If you are on a hardwood floor surface, you're using a chair, just make sure that it's, somewhere where it's not going to slide out from you. And it doesn't necessarily matter which direction you have the chair facing. Sometimes if you have the back of the chair facing to you, you kind of have two levels. So that can be nice sometimes. And the first one, we sort of have to gauge where we want the height to be. So kind of wait till it looks like everybody has settled here. So again, just peek down at your feet. Make sure that you're landing with your knees over ankles. Release your arms by your sides. And then activate the arms here. So you feel the inner arm wrapping towards the outer arm. So we're already trying to find those downward facing dog arms. As we inhale, we're going to stretch the arms up. Again, it's almost like you're creating a little isometric movement. You're giving yourself some resistance. Press your palms to face forward. Spread your fingers ever so gently. Maybe pull the belly in and up, or imagine that you're doing so. And then keep lots of length as you start to hinge forward and fold in. So again, you might be pressing at the top of the chair. Sometimes pressing into the seat of the chair can feel really nice because you're actually getting some feedback, like your hands, it's almost like they're pressing into the floor. And then you can just gaze down between your toes. Arms super firm, so we're really activating them. This chair is giving us great feedback. Couple more breaths. Good. As you inhale, look forward. You can bend one hand, then the other. Walk a hand to one thigh, then the other. And I am going to spin my chair around just so I can use the tall part of the chair for my next downward dog. So just taking a breath or two here, kind of flushing that first one out. Releasing your arms by your sides, palms spin forward. Inhale, stretch up. And then palms face forwards. We're already finding these active arms. It's already like we're doing a downward dog. Let's just move nice and slow. In fact, maybe you hover at halfway, especially if you're craving a little core work. And then hinge forward a little further. To adjust my chair a little bit here. Good, so fingers spreading. Imagine that you're pressing down into the floor. Your ears line up with your biceps, that inner arm. And just gazing towards the floor, so slightly ahead of your feet. Breath smooth and steady. Can you anchor down into your sit bones a little more as you do that? Can you kind of lengthen forward through the sides of your waist? We're finding spaciousness in this downward dog. Good, and then inhale, start to look forward, reach one hand to your thigh, then the other. Press into your thighs to come up. Good. So we're going to add a little twist to this that doesn't sound like something that you want to do today. You're going to just do a third and a fourth downward facing dog. All right, so releasing arms by your sides. Inhale, arms reach up. Good, spin the palms to face forward. Arms are super active. Hold on to all of this length to the sides of your waist. Hinge forward. And then walk your right hand off to the left a little bit so it's coming more center. Left hand is going to come to your left hip. Keep pressing down vigorously into that right palm, but then start to wrap your right ribs up towards the ceiling. So a little twisted downward dog. You can keep this elbow squeezing back behind you as well. Are you breathing? Nice work, everyone. Good, so exhale, unwind, and then you can take that left hand to where your right hand is. Right hand comes to your hip, elbow squeezes into the midline. Deep inhale, find length through the sides of your waist. And then exhale, wrap those left ribs to the right, anchoring down into that left hand. Breath smooth and steady. Good. Deep inhale. Exhale, unwind, stretch that right hand forward. Find your downward facing dog just for a couple of breaths. Arms super active. And then one hand comes to thigh, then the other. Press on up. Couple breaths here. Sitting nice and tall. So let's just take our twist a little bit deeper. So lots of different variations. So we're going to do a version of our Paraplegia Trikonasana, our twisted triangle pose. Always a tongue twister and a crowd pleaser. All right, so we will start twisting to our right side first. So there's a few different ways you can do this. So you might just stay with your legs, knees bent exactly as they are. That works. You might extend that right leg to straight on your mat. You might be able to put that right heel on your chair. And finally, you might choose to bring that left leg to straight as well. So lots of different places you can be. They're all good. So again, let's bring our right hand to our right hip. Elbow is squeezing in. And it's almost like you're dragging that right hip back a little bit. Inhale, stretch your left arm up. As you exhale, you're going to hinge forward about halfway. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then we're going to find a little twist here. So you can bring your left hand either to the inside of your left thigh or the outside of your right thigh or shin. And then you start to wrap those left ribs up towards the ceiling. Maybe you reach that right arm. You can just reach back to start. Maybe shoulder blades start to stack on top of each other. So you're getting a little leverage. This is a deep, deep twist, much deeper than that downward dog twist that we just did. Keep breathing. Twist really healthy for our spine. I think this is like one of the great things about yoga. We do a lot of twisting that we don't do in other kinds of exercise. All right, let's take one more deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to unwind. Let's just take a little forward fold. So you can use your chair. I'm going to actually rest my forehead on the back of the chair as I stretch my arms forward. This is a deep, deep hamstring stretch. If both of your legs are straight, you're going to be feeling it in both of them. Probably for sure feeling it in your right leg, that right hamstring. Parivrita Trikonasana. Twisted triangle. All right, so inhale, lengthen forward, bend hands, bring them to your legs, press up to your seat. Good. And then just find your Tadasana, your mountain pose, and we're going to take this to the second side. So again, you could stay here with both knees bent. That counts. Maybe you extend your left leg straight. Okay, maybe you can take that right heel on top of your chair. So they're all approximating the same thing. One side might look different than the other side. That's absolutely fine. Feel your sit bones press here. We're going to bring our left hand to our left hip, and you can even kind of just drag that hip back. So we really want the hip bone squaring forward. We're going to inhale, stretch this right arm up. Good. And then we're going to exhale, hinge forward and kind of hang there at halfway. And then perhaps you bring that right hand either to your shin or to your thigh. Lean this left shoulder head back. So we're wrapping those right ribs up towards the ceiling. Maybe you extend that left arm back. These are all options. Maybe you start to stack your shoulder blades on top of each other. We're giving everything a little ring out here. It's intense. It is hard to find a nice deep inhale. Do your best. Breath smooth and steady. You take breaks when you need to. You modify as you need to. Really beautiful. As you exhale, you unwind. And then again, just stretch forward, forward folding any amount. Maybe intensifying the hamstring stretch that you're feeling here. And then you can use your hands to help you press on up to a nice tall seat. Come back to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And then since we're here, let's just go ahead and move towards our camel pose, our Ustrasana. So knees are over your ankles, so just a little big thoracic back bending. Shoulders are landing over your sit bones. You're really rooting down there. Let's bring both hands to our hips. Squeeze the elbows in. Then you can imagine that you have a little wheel in your heart and it's spinning up towards the ceiling. Or you could even think of there's a big beach ball underneath your back and you're just trying to roll up and over that beach ball. Maybe you start to bring your gaze up. Maybe you let your head release back, assuming that that feels okay in your body. Feel the outer hip squeeze in, feel the lower belly pull in and up. Good. And then as you inhale, make your way out of this Ustrasana. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to come into that again with the option to do a little arm variation if you would like. So same setup. Elbows squeezing. So we're already finding the back bend in the upper body quite a bit. Root into your sit bones. As you inhale, maybe you stretch that right arm up. Take a few breaths here, still breathing. Can you get your shoulder blades to release down your back? Good, exhale, release. You can stay in the back bend if you would like, or come out briefly. And make your way back in. Eventually we inhale, stretch that left arm up. Good, exhale, release that arm, come out of that back bend. And then let's just do a few little neck rolls side to side after that. Good, switch directions. And then find your nice mountain pose. And let's move into a little pranayama work before we make our way into our downward, or not our downward facing dog, our shavasana. No more downward dogs. I'm lying. I'm telling lies. All right. So find a nice comfortable seat. Go ahead and give the fingers a little pop out. Good. You can circle the wrists a few times each direction. Oh, we got a kitty doing yoga with us. Love it. All right, so let's go ahead and place that left hand down on our thigh. As you know, we are going to be blocking our nostrils. So you could use thumb and index. You could also, you could use any combination of fingers, really. Classical sort of mudra here is to bring your second and third finger into the palm. Your pinky and ring fingers kind of like they become one. And then you can block the nostrils there. So find that bony part of your nose and then go down to where it's soft. You find that cartilage. This is where we're going to be pressing. We're not going to be pressing very hard at all. So just blocking the nostrils. Know that the shoulders love to get involved. They love to creep up. This right elbow is going to want to creep up. So just be mindful of that as we move into this breathing. Allow your eyelids to close here. Take a nice deep inhale through both nostrils. Full, complete exhale through both nostrils. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Release your right hand down. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. And then we're going to start to move towards some version of Shavasana here. So finding a comfortable position to be in. You might stay exactly where you're at in this quiet meditation. You might take a forward fold on that chair or the desk in front of you. You are welcome to come into classic Shavasana if that's something that's available to you. So laying down on the floor, wherever you're at, just channel this sense of surrender, of calm, of letting go, of stillness. Soaking up these final moments. This is kind of like the period at the end of our class. We want to create this space before we transition into the rest of the day ahead. And so just be here for a few moments, Shavasana. Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Take a deeper inhale. Now open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Start to bring a little gentle movement back to your body. So wiggle fingers, toes, circle ankles, wrists, stretch up overhead. Any movement here that feels good. Good. And eventually you're going to land with your palms in a pile on top of your heart. Send yourself love and gratitude. Send your body love and gratitude. We send each other love and gratitude for showing up for each other, practicing together. Finally, promise yourself that you're going to carry this good feeling with you into the rest of the day ahead. Just bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today, everybody. Thank you. Good to see you.